Okay, y'all, we are ready to start making our cards with our beautiful paper that we created. Here's the one that was done on paper plate. Remember, not on the shiny side, but on the regular side. And here's how some of the other ones turned out. I really love that one. I think they're all just really beautiful. It's hard to choose. So make yourself a bunch so you have a lot to choose from. A couple of things before we get started. Protect your work area. Put down some newspaper, put down some plastic, whatever you need to do to make sure you don't make a mess. And keep some paper towels handy in case you get dirty. I like having baby wipes handy too. Also, here's the information to where you can submit any artwork to. Show me what you're doing. I'd love to see your face in the picture with your artwork. So SJUS Art Class is our Instagram, and then here is my email for school. So whichever one is easier for you, please send me your work. Okay, to begin with, these are the samples that I'm going to show you how to put together and how I did them. But just before we get started, it's good to have some extra supplies and have everything handy before you start to work. Your crayons or your markers, or both. Colored paper, old magazines. I love magazines, but please get your permission from your parents or guardians before you cut any of that up. They have gorgeous colors in them. You'll need some glue. You'll need some thin cardboard. I use an empty cereal box. So check your recycle bin, see if you can come up with an empty cereal box, an old Christmas card, anything like that that is a little bit heavier. We're going to make a little egg template out of that. Embellishments, you know, go on a scavenger hunt around the house. What kind of embellishments do you have? Old mini bows, colorful buttons, ribbons. Maybe there's some hair ties you don't like to use anymore. Anything that you can think of. It's open-ended. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to set this card aside for a minute. And then this one is not actually all put together. I'm actually going to deconstruct this one for you and show you exactly how it's all going to go together and how it's made. So, all those pieces aside, the first thing I started with was a piece of paper folded in half. You'll either want the fold at the top or to your left side. Okay, so this is your right hand. Your left hand makes the letter L. So you want the fold to the left side. And don't forget to flip it over and just put your name tiny in pencil on the back. So that, you know, if you give this to somebody special, they'll remember who it's from. Okay, so I'm going to turn my card this way, which is landscape, and I've got the fold at the top. And the first thing I wanted to do was I wanted to put some color on the background. Now I chose blue because I thought it would be kind of nice to have a sky blue at the top. However, what you can do too is you can look in old magazines and you can find a blue sky. So that would be really pretty too. So I'm just going to put the blue sky aside and I'm going to glue down my blue paper. I'm using a glue stick for speed. You can use liquid glue or whatever you have. My glue stick is not a very good one. And I am just going to flip that over and glue that down. And while that's gluing, I'm going to go over here and grab a better glue stick because I have bunches of them. That's good. Okay, I've got that glue stick. And then the next thing I'm going to glue down is my grass. Now, if you guys look closely at the grass, boys and girls, you're going to see that it's actually from a newspaper clipping. Okay, I'm sorry, a magazine clipping. I just pulled it off from here and cut it up. And actually, I tore it, the edges. You know how much I like the torn edges. So I'm going to do that. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue down the bottom of it because I like how it's a little bit two-dimensional. If I let the fringe stay up, and remember you all learned how to cut fringe, you can cut it. Here's a sample of how I cut it on construction paper. If you have construction paper, you could have cut it the magazine the same way if you wanted to. Okay, so now I've got to figure out how to do all of my other elements. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by making an Easter egg template. And that's something I want so that I can trace. So I drew an Easter egg, okay? And then I cut it out. And this is, if you look at it, if you look at these, this is from an old cereal box of Honey Bunches of O's. So whatever you have, these work terrific. Might as well use up that cardboard instead of putting it in the recycling bin, okay? Then what I did was I took my paper, my beautiful paper that I have here, and I turned it over. And I laid this down and I traced a whole bunch, as many as I could fit. I kept them real close together so that I could squeeze a whole bunch of these eggs on it. That way I can make a bunch of cards for all the special people in my life for Easter. Okay, and then I cut them out. And here they are cut out. And I cut this one a little jagged because I'm going to use it for I have a little Easter chick. Okay, so I have a bunch of pieces here. I don't have to use all of them. I might do different cards with different ones. So we're going to set those aside for a minute. And I'm going to show you how to draw the Easter chick. Now this Easter chick, look, is really, really easy. You're going to take your colored marker or your crayon, and all you're going to do is, at first, if you want to, you can draw yourself a circle, okay, or an oval. All I did was I started scribbling outside like this from the middle out, and just kind of scribbling a circle shape, an oval shape, almost like the egg. If you wanted to, you could probably trace your egg lightly with your marker, and then just scribble outside the line like that. The reason I did that is I wanted to give the illusion that the chick was fluffy. Then what I did was I took my handy dandy scissors, and you can do it. All I did was cut, and I cut around and cut around, moving the paper, making it jaggy all the way around. The other way you could do it is you could cut into it this way, and he would have spiky hair. So whatever you want your little chickie to look like, that's what you can do. Okay? So you do that all the way around until you end up with something that looks like this. Now, boys and girls, all I did, I'm not going to finish cutting this one out, but I'm going to cut it out roughly to show you how I did the face. Okay? Actually, that's starting to look kind of cute. All I did was the face was I took my black Crayola marker, put 2 dots kind of wide apart, because babies always have wide apart ears, or eyes, I'm sorry. And then I just drew 2 triangles, one inside the other one for the little beak. Okay? Then I took one of my Easter eggs, okay, and I cut little jagged. Now see how I'm turning my paper and my scissors to do this. Okay, and now I have a little Easter egg shell for my chickie. Okay, so let's finish putting that together. Take and pull this back in. The most important thing is I'm going to put the chickie back here. So I put a little glue on him. Put the chick back here. Okay, and then I'm going to take his Easter, little part of his egg that he popped out of, and I'm going to glue it and leave some in the back. Let's see what we can do. Kind of play with this a little bit. You play with it. Do it however you want to do it. And I'm going to put his little, that there. If you have some more grass, you can put it on top. I have a little bit more. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is, boys and girls, I also cut out some Easter eggs out of magazine paper. Look at that beautiful magazine color. And that way I can use different eggs in different spots. And I can decide if I want to put them in the background or in the foreground. Okay? So on this one, I think I'm going to put one in the foreground. Okay. I never like to glue everything down flat because I like it to have a little bit of dimension, stand up a little bit. I think I'm going to glue this one over here in the background, maybe a little bit behind the chick because I want the chickie, because I didn't glue him all the way down, so I can kind of pull him up and tuck that under. And then if I wanted to, I could glue another egg over here. I have a blue egg here. I really like these, so I think I'm going to glue another one of those right there. Okay, glue another egg, kind of halfway in the back and halfway forward. That's why I like having that grass there. Kind of shows a little bit. All right. Now, the other thing that I did was I got inspired because I saw this butterfly in a magazine. So I decided that I wanted to make some butterflies. So first I'm going to take this butterfly and put a little bit of glue on there. And I'm going to put that little butterfly right there at the top. Now I'm not going off the page too much because I might want to put this in an envelope, and if everything goes off, then it won't fit in the envelope too well. Okay, so I have two other little butterflies here that I made. I think I might stick one big one over here on the back. I like things to be layered. I'll stick that one here. Okay, and again, I'm going to try to place it so it doesn't go off the page in case I want to put it in an envelope. And I just I only glue down a little bit in the middle because I want to leave it popped up a little bit. Okay, so that's that card. Now I want to show you how I did the butterfly. I grabbed a really pretty piece of paper from one of my magazine sheets. And where is that really pretty one that I had? Here's some, and here's one, and this is the color I was looking at that I thought, wow, that would make a beautiful butterfly. So all I did, and I'm just going to use my big scissors so I can make this quick, is I cut out a little square, and then I folded it. The good side facing in, because I don't want to see the marks. And then I took my marker. I used a Sharpie marker for this. And remember, butterflies are symmetrical. So all I did was I drew, and I didn't worry about the butterfly face. I just drew a big wing and then a smaller wing. Okay? And I cut that out. All the way around, moving my paper, not really moving my scissors as much. Sometimes you have to move both. And look at that pretty butterfly. Okay? And then you can glue that down. All right, so that's that card, boys and girls. You can write whatever Easter greeting you want inside. Happy Easter. Jesus is risen. Bless you on Easter. Whatever you want to do. So, moving on to this card. Now I made this option because some of you are older and maybe you don't want to do little Easter chicks and you want to do something. This is what I call an elegant Easter card. So it's a little bit more grown up for you middle schoolers maybe. And all I did was take a piece of my paper that I really liked, one that I really liked that had a clean inside. This one does not. This one has a really nice clean inside, and it's pretty and orange on the outside. All right. Then I took another sheet, and I cut out a bunch of Easter eggs. Okay. So there we have that. Let me find my sheet with my Easter eggs. I'm going to cut out an Easter egg real quick so that I can show you exactly what I did. I just cut one Easter egg out and cut around it quickly. And I took some contrasting ribbon. Now that means you want to take a ribbon that maybe you don't have the color that you see here. So I chose a green one and I wrapped this around and I glue it down. And I used tacky glue for this or Elmer's glue. And I just laid it down, put some glue back here, take my ribbon, glue that down, put some more glue on the back. Okay. and glue that down where I want it. I kind of put them at an angle, and that one you can see kind of pops up. That's fine. Everything doesn't have to be glued down flat. Then what I did was I took another piece of ribbon and I tied a bow. This is the harder part. Maybe you might need somebody to help you with this, but just imagine you're tying your shoes. Okay, I pull it really tight and then I gently ease it out. Okay, take my sharpest scissors I have in my house, trim this up a little bit. And then I take a big, put a little tacky glue under there to hold that ribbon down. Put a blob, a good blob of tacky glue there. It does take a while for this to dry, boys and girls, so be patient, set it somewhere to dry, and I glue that one down. Okay, then I do the same with the next one, and I just kind of, like I said, I always leave a little space, so if I wanted to tuck that one, the other one, this one over here underneath, I could. And then again, you have your card ready, just a nice greeting on the inside. Oops, that fell off. That's why I said you got to let it dry for a little bit. Okay, and then boys and girls, there you have it. You have 2 gorgeous Easter cards that you made with your Sidewalk chalk paper marbling. It's hard to say. Okay, have a great Easter. I love you all, and I look forward to seeing you after the holiday. Take care. Bye-bye.